So to start the beginning of PlayStation Bedrock Dementedness, it's actually released later than the other versions of the game, which the reason is because Sony at the time didn't allow crossplay, or I don't think they did. Another factor is Sony's resistance of the game being owned by the rival company. Obviously, Microsoft owns Mojang. Mojang is an Xbox game studio. Well, while this obviously isn't a problem today, at the time it was a very big issue because obviously you need a Microsoft account to play Minecraft online. So you buy the game on a Sony account, but then you still need an Xbox account to play the game. And obviously Sony didn't like this. Another reason is because if on any other version of Bedrock, if you buy the currency, it's called Minecoins, and you can use it on any platform you want. On PlayStation, however, it's called Mine Tokens, and you can only use it on PlayStation, and you can't access your Minecoins from your other platforms. Do you want to know why? Because Sony are greedy idiots, and they want more money. So instead of just doing what every other thing did, like flipping Nintendo Switch allowing you to have Minecoins, they were like, no, you're not allowed to buy the currency on a different platform and then use it here. I'll show. See, look, it's blue. On every other version, it would be gold. Sadly, I can't show you that because I'm on PlayStation and I can't transport footage over. But whatever. But this version is very strange because it released on the 9th of December 2019, a solid 2 years after the Xbox version that was released 20th of September 2017. So the stupid thing is the PlayStation people were stranded for 2 years on the better version of the game, and but they couldn't obviously play with their PC friends, their Switch friends, their Xbox friends, vice versa. But honestly, that means the Legacy Console Edition is actually more updated than the rest of the Legacy Console Editions because of Sony's resistance to move to Bedrock. Now for the dumbest thing of this version, in my opinion, is on every other version you get rewards for achievements, right? Such as if you mine a tree, you get this nice red and black T-shirt, or shirt, which I use for Diamond Man. And if you eat an enchanted golden apple, you get a diamond skin thing, right? Well, guess what? That's not allowed on PlayStation. And if you have an account with one of those things on, as shown here, the things will simply not load. Whether this is an oversight by Mojang themselves and they just never added it properly, or this was some sort of agreement that, okay, you're not allowed to track what our Sony players do on your game, because in every other version you can actually track on how many blocks you've mined. On here you can't. So I reckon it's either it's an oversight, or Sony do not want Microsoft tracking what their players are doing, which is quite amusing because Sony track what their own players are doing by recording everything they've ever said. But that's a totally different thing. I actually googled on why this is a thing, and it just brought up a Reddit post from 2 years ago simply saying it's broken. I don't think it's broken because it's not even in the game. Because if you look at the bottom left, I'll pop up the screen now. On every other version, that would be a water bottle symbol that would bring up achievements, and that would be where you claim the rewards. That's simply not on this version of the game. So I don't know. Again, I don't know if this was deliberate, whether it was a mistake. I have a feeling it's deliberate because this is Sony. They're very stingy about things like this. So I reckon it's deliberate and they just don't let you have it. But then why couldn't they just give it for having the trophies? Because all they are is they're renamed achievements for trophies. So I don't know, it's bizarre. So another thing, okay, but onto a bit of a personal history of my experience, right? So last year the October update happened on Xbox. I did a video on that. I'll put that in the description. I moved my main world over to PlayStation, right? So I was playing the game, and about half an hour in, it crashes. I'm like, okay. This happened nearly every day. I would get a stupid amount of progress done, and then it'll go back about 20 minutes when it crashed randomly right out of nowhere. I reported the issue. This happened multiple times. I googled it at the time. It had been happening since the game released. And you might be saying, "Oh, it's because of your world size." Yes, it is a rather large world. It's 600 megabytes. Well, my friend Crady's uploaded, or he loaded a new world the other month or the other week, right? Brand new world. We were playing it, and guess what happened? It crashed. So clearly, it's not due to world size because the world had literally just been created. So I rather think it's just a terrible bug, and this version is demented, as it doesn't even let you play the game properly unless you have realms or you're on a server. Because if you're on a realm or a server, you don't occur this issue. But if you play the world normally, or you don't pay for things, or don't go on these servers, then your game is going to most likely crash. It does have other bugs, such as when I inevitably found out this version is as demented as the October version of Xbox, I moved the world into realms. But the issue was, at the time, the realm wouldn't upload, or it claimed it wouldn't upload. So I manually crashed the game, and then a couple of days later, I tested to see if it uploaded, and it was just randomly there, even though I never said that. But whatever. Also, my world, right, Yoda, or Diamond Man, as I call it, Diamond Man Public on YouTube, it's 600 megabytes, right? And when I had it on there, it said I ran out of storage. I had one 600 megabyte world, and apparently the version ran out of storage. And then again, I googled it, and apparently PlayStation doesn't let you have that much storage, right? Before October update 2022 on Xbox, I had 300 plus worlds, and I never ran out of storage. And you're saying to me I can't even have one 600 megabyte world? Like, it's ridiculous. One more thing. Is when I'm on PlayStation, specifically, right, on my realm, right, if I fly into old existing chunks, it loads in new chunks over it, right? Like I think I have a clip. If I do, I'll add it to this video. I don't know if I've got it on my Xbox or my PlayStation. I don't know, because it sometimes happens on Xbox, but it's primarily happens on PlayStation, right? So I fly into existing chunks, and then these like horrible, ugly mountains load over, right? It's happened at my spawn a couple of times where I've loaded in, and then I'm standing there, and then an ocean spawns in over my house. Like, this game is so demented, like, specifically the PlayStation version, because it barely happens on Xbox, and it only happens when I have really extreme lag, whereas it just casually happens every so often, like, not even every so often, it happens nearly every time I go to an area I haven't been to for a while. It will just, like, load it over, and then delete the new chunks and replace it with the old ones. This is just bizarre. But this game is a mess from top to bottom, and the whole premise of Bedrock is a mess, but specifically this version, from the Legacy Console Edition to whatever the hell this mess is, where you can't even have more than one 600 megabyte world without it saying you've run out of storage. You can't upload your world onto Realms properly. You can't even access your Diamond Man skin. You can't do anything on this Dominion. You can't even access your own bloody currency, because Sony decided they wanted more money. In my honest opinion, I don't know. I've never played Switch properly. So people say that's the worst version of Bedrock, but at least you can use mine coins and you could access things you purchased or you've got through playing the game. This version, you can't even do that. So in my honest opinion, this is definitely the most demented version of Bedrock. But if you enjoyed watching this video, consider subscribing, leaving a like, comment what I should talk about next, and goodbye.